Hello, everyone. This is Independent Conservative. Thank you all for joining me once again. I want to talk about this idea of Trump supposedly being dead or being sick and something leading to his death. Apparently, there's been this rumor being spread around on social media that Trump is dead or that he's sick or that he's on his last leg or whatever. And I heard about this rumor from a friend of mine. Now, normally I don't do videos on Saturday. I don't do videos on Saturday because I got some other things I got to be doing. But I wanted to address this issue because when I heard this news, the first thing that came to my mind, it's fake news. And the reason why I thought in my mind that when this information was given to me that this is fake news is because I was not hearing about this from any of the conservative sources. I knew in my spirit that this is fake, that these are people that are spreading these rumors are people that hate Trump, which is the left, the liberal biased media, the liberal biased Democrats hate Trump. And so whatever they need to do to push this idea across, they will do it. So when I heard that news, the first thing came to my mind is fake news. People got to understand, when I hear something from the mainstream liberal media, which is what is controlled by the mainstream media, which is the media that everyone listens to, for those that don't know, that's what it means by mainstream, okay, is controlled mostly by liberals. That is just a political term that refers to a certain faction of people that have a certain worldview. Liberals support abortion all the way up to giving birth. Yes, they do. Liberals support open borders. Liberals support big government. That means the government taking over. Just about everything that is considered to be morally wrong, liberals support. And I'm not going to get into the details of why they support it, but that's what they have been brainwashed for the most part to support. On the contrary, conservatives for the most part do not support those type of things. Conservatives tend to believe in God. Conservatives tend to be Christian, not all the time, but they tend to be. Conservatives tend to believe in the nuclear family, the father and the mother being in the same family. If you believe in that, then you have a conservative worldview. Conservatives believe that if you want something, you got to work for it. Okay, these are things that conservatives believe. Now, I'm just giving you just a brief overview for those who are not familiar with what the left represents and what the right represents, or what liberals represent and what conservatives represent. This is just a briefing of that reality. Now, with that being said, most of the mainstream media, CNN, MSNBC, are cable news sources. So I'm going to talk about the free news sources: CBS, NBC, ABC, BBC from Britain, and all the rest. Those are mostly liberal. Okay, they have a liberal worldview. They tend to hate Trump. They tend to reject conservative values. They tend to I can go all day over this stuff. I could really go all day over this stuff. But this is what they tend to believe in, okay? If you're watching only CBS and ABC and cable sources like CNN and MSNBC and all of these other liberal biased news sources, you're going to only get one side of the story. With that being said, you have to launch out into more either conservative news sources or more moderate news sources so that you can get a more accurate and balanced view of what is going on. Now, at the end of what I'm about to discuss with you, I'm going to give a list of conservative news sources that those of you who may not be familiar with these conservative news sources, you can copy these down, okay? Now, I want to read this out of a conservative news source. It is an article. Breitbart News. I know some people have a problem with Breitbart News because I think it's Jewish owned, which is interesting to me because what's wrong with Jews? You got a problem with Jews, but I ain't going to get into that. I'm not going to digress into that, that mindset. Okay. But it gives good news. It's a good conservative news source. This is the article. Okay, it's kind of hard to see it from here. As you can see, you see Trump there. And the article is entitled, quote, "Trump is dead, trends online as leftists fantasize about president's demise." Now, as I said before I even read this article, that I knew something was funny about this whole idea of Trump being dead. Now, let me explain something else about news sources. You have different kinds of news sources. You have visual news sources on TV. You have those kind of news sources. And you have print news sources. The difference between, I guess you can call them mainstream live news sources, is that they're done with cameras and editing and all that type of stuff. Written sources are what I'm reading right now. Okay, they're the same thing, but they're just written. Same thing is just written news sources. Before there was any TV, before there was even the radio, there was newspapers, there was articles. That's how people found out about news. Nowadays, people figure just because they visibly see something that it must be completely accurate. That is not true. Okay, because just like there's editing and splicing in print news, there's editing and splicing in visual news. The news do it all the time and have been doing it all the time, but I'm not going to give examples here. I don't have the time. Okay, that's up for people to take the time to research it and read up on it themselves. Okay. However, I wanted to bring that out before anyone has a bias against me reading an article. But I am showing it to you so you will know I'm reading an article and I'm not making it up. This is a news source. Let's hear what Breitbart News has to say about this whole idea of Trump being dead. Leftists spread baseless rumors online overnight Friday and into Saturday morning that President Donald Trump was dead. Phrases including "Trump is dead" and "please let it be true" trended on social media, and many celebrated the fake news. One social media user wrote in a post, "If Trump is dead, I will give $50 to anyone who likes this tweet," along with a photo of the president. And let me just point out right here. You see, one of the things that disturbs me is the difference between people who are on the left and people who are on the right, or liberals and conservatives. A conservative would never talk like this. Not that I'm aware of. A conservative might not like a particular person. They may even despise certain concepts and attitudes about that person. But a conservative, in my experience, being one, would not say if Biden is dead, I will give $50 to anyone who likes this tweet. They would never say that. Because conservatives tend to have certain moral aspects about themselves that liberals have completely rejected. When you hear someone talk like this, 9 times out of 10, they're liberal bias, okay, and they have a lot of hate and bitterness and resentment in their heart, among other things. Let's go on. Someone else shared a photo of what appeared to be a cult ritual with the words "Trump is dead" or "on the verge of death" repeated over and over. And that's really disturbing because it's interesting because this article is being blocked out. You can't see anything. They keep blocking it out. Because, see, you know what I'm saying? See, the algorithms don't want you to see anything. They don't want you to see the evidence. See, the algorithms control all, but I'm not going to get into the details of all that. We all know what the algorithms are about, okay? This stuff is just controlled and manipulated. But how could you do something like that? How could you create a fake ritual that keeps saying Trump is dead, on the verge of death, over and over and over again? How could someone be so filled with hate? I get it. You may be angry about someone. You may be frustrated about their views. But to be so full of hate that you just want this person to be dead. That is demonic, people. Why isn't that getting through people's heads? That is purely demonic. I wouldn't want to have anything to do with an individual like that. Period. They're dangerous. They're dangerous. The war, the civil war that is coming, is going to be initiated by the radical left. I said this before in the previous video, and I'm saying it here. Those are the ones you need to watch out for. Them are the ones you need to watch out for. They're dangerous and filled with hate. Let's go on. I'm telling you, man. People better wake up. Now, this can cause me to lose it, but people better wake up. I'm telling you. It's ridiculous. It goes on to say, okay, hold on a second here. People forgive me. Yeah, it says, however, Trump was photographed Saturday leaving the White House on his way to Virginia to play golf, Newsweek reported. So Newsweek reported that Trump was leaving the White House on his way to Virginia to play golf. Now, if he was photographed leaving the White House on his way to Virginia to play golf, then how can he be dead? How can he be sickly? When Biden was sick and seen doing certain things, the man could barely stand. Mainstream liberal media tried to cover it up, but it's hard to cover up someone who's basically dead on their feet. True, Trump is an older guy. He's older. He is, I think he's like 79, 80, 81. But the man has a lot of energy. He has more energy than me. He gets very little sleep from what I'm understanding from different sources. And yet he's still getting things done, still moving around, still vibrant. He has more energy than a lot of these 20-year-olds do. A lot of these 20-year-olds got all their energy is focused on listening to Cardi B and Gorilla and all of these demonically possessed celebrities and singers. All their energy is going on to them. That's why they don't have any energy. Because their energy, the true energy, is being siphoned from them. But I'm going off into a tantrum there. My apologies. But their energy is going all the way towards this direction, and Trump's energy, old as he may be, is going towards the energy, to the focus that it should be, which is to meet the demands of the people that voted for him. Now, we can go off into other areas, and I'm not going to get into that here. My point in this video is to simply say that this whole idea of Trump dying and all this is fake news. Let's go on. The outlet said that the rumor started after that he had not been seen in public for several days. That's interesting, right? The rumor started because people hadn't seen him in public for several days, so they figured, oh, he must be dead. Well, he got to be on TV every day, saying something every single day? I'm sorry, that's stupid. Why would anyone think someone's dead because you ain't seen him in several days? That's stupid. How often do you need to see the president? Can't the man go to bed and go to sleep? Can't he spend time with his family? Do you need to always see him? You don't like him anyway, so why would you always want to see the man? Man, people are just so dumb. They really are, man. They're dumb. I'm just going to be real with you. People are dumb. Let's go on. The report continued. False rumors about Trump's death had previously circulated across social media, according to Grok X, AI-powered chatbot. Posts speculating about Trump. See, a chatbot. Oh, see. See how dumbed down people are? Oh, the chatbot must said it, so it must be true. AI said it, so it must be true. Everything that AI says is not true. Duh. I'm just saying. Some things may be true, but everything that AI says is not true, folks. These what these people that's depending on AI as their God. That's another video. But everything AI say is not true. I'm just saying. Maybe in case people don't get it. Anyway, goes on to say, post speculating about Trump had acquired over 1.3 million user engagements as of Saturday morning. As of 9:15 a.m. Eastern Time on Saturdays, where's Trump? Mark, was the sixth most popular trending topic on X in the United States. Wow. It's interesting how people follow trends. That's why it's called trending, because people follow trends. I don't follow trends. I hate trends. I don't follow trends. I'm not saying that because I'm better than anybody else, but I'm saying I don't follow trends. I recognize trends, and then I look into what the trends are about to know exactly what people are following, but I don't follow trends. Ooh, that said that. Ooh, he said that. Ooh, she said that. Ooh, he's wearing that. Ooh, she's wearing that. Let me go follow them. They sound good. They look good. No. I refuse to be a slave up here. I'm not perfect, but I refuse to be a slave up here. That's why I do what I do. Because I don't want other people to be enslaved and be followers of trends. That's how the Antichrist is going to come on the scene. That's how it's going to, why it's going. Yeah, I'm getting to the religious aspect here. That's why I believe it's going to be so easy for people to follow the Antichrist. They're going to trend themselves right into accepting the mark. They're going to trend themselves right into the microchip or nanochip or biochip. They're going to trend themselves right into it. Guarantee you. Watch. Mark my word. I might not be here, and I pray I'm not here when it happens. Because everybody want to follow trends. But anyway, it's a setup, man. Meanwhile, video footage reportedly shows the president heading out to play golf. After the leftist rumor mill began churning, Trump's supporters shared their thoughts in social media posts. So now you have Trump supporters and you have the left. So now I'm going to read to you what Trump supporters are saying, okay? And I know some people have a problem with Trump supporters that may be watching this video, and you may be on the left or you may be in the middle. It is what it is. Everything that Trump supporters say is not wrong. Just like everything that the left may be saying, maybe, I would say 99.9% of what the left say is wrong and off, but maybe just one or two things that they say may have some significance to it, okay? But at any way, with these being Trump supporters, they're not all crazy, okay? After 2 hours or so, he says, it says, Trump scrolls the psycho sociopathic leftist death cult post, smile while one thinking, I'm just getting started, BITCHs. One person wrote, ha ha ha, whatever. Who started the Trump is dead nonsense. You want to know where is Trump? He's right where he's always been. Rent free and empty heads, another user stated. People really celebrating and saying Trump is dead, you all, are showing your true colors. Then again, you celebrate the ending of children's lives, so I don't know why I expect it differently, yet another person said. Following the first assassination attempt against him in Butler, Pennsylvania, and of course, this is the editor of the article right now, in 2024, Trump said during his speech at the Republican National Convention, there was blood pouring everywhere, and yet, and I know sometimes Trump can tend to exaggerate, but you get the point. And yet, in a certain way, I felt very safe because I had God on my side, per Breitbart News, okay? Whether or not people believe he had God on his side or not, it's whatever you believe, okay? People didn't believe that Jesus was the Son of God. The Pharisees rejected him. A lot of the Jews at the time rejected him. They didn't believe he was the Son of God, okay? But he was and is. Anyway, after the aborted attempt on his life in Florida, the second the president affirmed in September that his will remain unbroken and that God spared his life. These encounters with death have not broken my will. They have really given me a much bigger and stronger mission. They've only hardened my resolve to use my time on earth to make America great again for all Americans, to put America first, he stated, end of article. And that's what I wanted to bring. I just wanted to bring that out. That's just reading that one source of information to state emphatically to all people who think Trump is sick and got brain damage or he's dead or whatever. It's a lie, just as I suspected, okay? It's a lie just as I suspected. Stop letting the mainstream media poison your mind. Now, I'm going to give the mainstream liberal media poison your mind. So I'm going to give some conservative sources. If people that really want to know about this, you're going to copy this down and you're going to look into these conservative sources. If you don't copy this down and you don't look into these conservative sources, you want to be enslaved by the lies of the mainstream liberal media. You want to be indoctrinated. You want to be fearful. You want to be scared. You want to be, that's what you want. You don't want to know the other side. But if you do, you're going to copy these sources down. Okay. Now somebody would say, well, you're trying to make me feel guilty. Yep, I am. Because you should. All right. www.breitbart.com, which I just have there. Okay. www.frc.org, www.heritage.org, www.hotair.com, www.humanevents.com, www.nationalreview.com, www.redstate.com, www.theweeklystandard.com, www.townhall.com, www.winst.org, that's WINST, and www.worldmag.com, worldmag.com. Okay. I just want to read you some of those sources out of this book here, Abduction, which is essentially how liberalism steals our children's hearts and minds. People fail to understand the radical liberal view is very, very dangerous, and it is the tool of the elites. It is the tool of the elites, and that's all I'm going to say here in this video. Okay? That worldview is dangerous, and it's designed to cause division and designed to bring about a communist revolution in this country. And if people don't get both sides of the story and are absorbed only by one stream of news, that's what's going to embitter you. That's what people are being brainwashed by. Okay? The mainstream liberal biased news. Okay? So I just wanted to say that in this special video, Trump ain't dying. Okay? He's not dead. Stop believing the lies. All right? So that's what I wanted to say about that. What do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all and see you again.